Okay. Hello.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Unleashed Defiance, episode number 3.
3. This
You
is
started
wild.
singing.
Yeah. Um, I love singing, but it feels like we've been doing that. Like I'm in this weird zone and it just like kind of came in where I'm like, oh, it's only number 3. I feel like we've been through like 147 episodes.
Okay, well, let's make a note when we get to 100 to episode 147 that we really do a big sing and a dance. But we
Right?
probably have done 147 episodes in the future already. But this is the now. Let me just
Truly.
put
Yeah. And
all
Coco's
right,
like, I'm in it. I've been there the whole time.
yeah. My little, I'll try to bath her today. It was an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster, but she needed it.
I can imagine she was very wiggly. No, mom.
Water everywhere. It was like, all right, so let's get into the episode where we're going to talk about acceptable lies that we tell ourselves and
Yes.
the acceptable lies that we accepted growing up. So the bullshit rules of
Yes.
oh,
Lies. Yeah. Lies that keep us comfortable,
mm,
but they're not doing anything for us. It's just creating
no,
more bullshit and nonsense in our
and drama.
days, drama, relationships, ourselves, all that good stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say is your most acceptable lie?
For myself, like something that I've told myself.
Hmm.
Okay. Let me see. You know, the thing that keeps coming to my mind has to do with like relationships in general, and I know where it stems from. But basically, it's like knowing that something isn't okay with a behavior or just even being in a relationship with a certain individual, like not okay. And you tell yourself, this is everything's going to be okay. Like this person, like I can see the potential this person will change or we'll figure it out or it'll get better
So
or
bypassing the red flags.
bypassing the red flags. And again, I know where it stems from. Shall I go into that?
If please indulge us.
Yeah, so no, discrepancies in family values, I'm being told to say, where I know something was not correct. Like I remember being so little and being like, this behavior isn't okay, or what this person is saying, it's not okay. And now we have to, like, instead of getting to the root of the problem and talking about it and working through it and everyone doing the work, again, especially in family with family dynamics and like talking about some hard truths like, oh, nope, we're just gonna, that's how that person is, or how they are, or
Yep.
so I've noticed that in relationships, like even that relationships that weren't really the best for me. And also like with myself, like I said, like being like, no, 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 like I'm going to be in this relationship with this person. Everything's going to be okay. Like they're good people. When it's not okay, it's not compatible. It wasn't doing me a solid. Like the best thing to do would have been to be honest with myself, which more and more I've done the work and I can see those red flags. And, now sometimes like those certain behaviors don't even come around like anymore because I've done the work and my body and my being is just like, no, that's not coming into fruition in our reality anymore. So
No. Unacceptable.
yeah, so lying to yourself to yeah, and then walking on eggshells and or
Mm,
like being like, "Oh, can't say that, can't do that." Okay, that's just
uh,
how things are. And then what did it do for me? Chaos. Chaos. Like,
Drama,
yeah.
fights, disruption, a lot of tears, a lot of heartache, a lot of angst, a lot of gaslighting.
Yes. Yes. Gaslighting. Oh, gaslighting.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. But like this is what happens when we start accepting these acceptable lies and we start diminishing who we are and going against what we really feel in our heart is it is gaslighting to a certain extent because you start thinking, okay, did I really say that? Did I really do that? Is like and then you start tolerating it. And you start tolerating the behavior. And like you say, oh, that's okay. That's just them. But it's not okay. If it's going against your being and making you feel uncomfortable, that's not okay. And it is okay to get up and walk away. Like now, what I do is like, and I often find myself in situations where I'll be sitting at a table or with a group of people and I'll be like, "Okay, hang on, no, this just is not right for me," and I politely excuse myself. It's like I'd rather go home and chill with my pets than sit around and accept that behavior.
Oh, yeah, very much so. And, you said something, and I was trying to come up with the word, and you said it, and now I already forgot it. But, oh, yeah, diminishing. Like, being still allowing certain behaviors within yourself so you don't have to do the work, or you're just like, oh, this is just how things are, or allowing it with other people. You diminish yourself, like, whether, again, it's something with yourself or something with someone outside of you. um and that breaks my heart. Like, that's sad. Like, I'm so glad I've come so far, but thinking of me in different times, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking, but like, wow, how what a drive. What it gives you a drive when you're finally like, no, this really isn't okay, and you reach a certain point, and that's when you make the change.
Yeah,
It
and
sucks that we get to a certain point, but yeah.
and then don't you love it when you consciously make the decision to leave the situation, that the universe comes in and catapults you out of the situation as quickly as you got yourself into it? And then it's just like, "Oh, okay. All right, and I had my own timeline, but which would have been a week, 2 weeks, but universe is like, "No, this has to happen now."
Now, yeah. Yeah. That's so wild when that happens. What about you? What are your acceptable or comfortable lies?
Well, currently my comfortable lie was that I enjoy living in this house, which I clearly don't. But I've done the hard work around it. Yes, this place served me at a time when I was going through something, and but now that I'm elevating and expanded and the universe is guiding me onto new things, but because also I've done such a lot of work, I don't lie to myself anymore. I don't accept things that are unacceptable for myself. Yes, sometimes I do have blind spots, but then my spirit, my being, and the dragon will come in to show me what needs to be worked on and what needs to be released. But I would say the biggest lie that I ever told myself was, I'm not worthy.
I love that you just said that. I'm sorry yeah, but I love that you just said that. Yes. How many of us go through life just like I said, nope, it'll get better, things will change. And that's you being like, I'm not worthy to step out and do better.
Exactly. It's like I've got to accept my current situation. I've got to accept where I am because I'm not worthy of more. I'm not worthy of going beyond, which is also it's absolute bullshit because we are all worthy, and worth is one of the biggest things that most people struggle with. But, I mean, for me, it was because from a very young age, it was drummed into me that I'm not worthy by my father was narcissistic and an alcoholic, and my mother as well, very vindictive. And so I grew up with this feeling of deep down not really feeling worthy. But now that obviously I've done the work and I do feel worthy, and I feel worthy of being in a better environment than what I'm in now. I don't need to live next to a drug addict who has loud sex and wakes me up and who's like so unconscious and stuff
Oh
like
my
that. I don't need to be in this
God.
environment where my landlord is harassing me constantly on a daily basis, because I am worth more. And once you start realizing you're worth more, then stuff that shows up for you, and it's amazing. Like, opportunities show up to you to show you how worthy you are. But that was the one thing that one of the biggest things that I've struggled with has been my worth. And it was also an uncomfortable lie, and something that I wasn't really looking at it, because yes, I do feel pretty good about myself. And I feel like I'm in a good place, but it was a blind spot, because I didn't realize that the way that I was living was literally showing me that I wasn't actually honoring myself and honoring my worth. So I love that the dragon has come in to show me this aspect of myself. And then it's like, no, fuck that. I am worthy. I am going to move into a nicer apartment. I am going to have a nicer landlord. I am going to have these nice things. And then they're all slowly showing up, which is amazing. I still don't know where I'm moving to, but I've got a week to figure that out.
Yeah. And it's going to be so much better than
Oh, no, it's
where
going to
you
be
are
so much
now,
better.
right? And like what you're dealing with. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, very much so. Um, what about, you know, the lie that we tell ourselves that like we can't have the good or things can't be easy for us? Because
So
this,
that's the biggest.
right? Because this world is like hard work. And the only, money you receive is through your income and hard work and blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
That's another big lie, but
yeah,
that is ingrained in everybody, that you have to work hard for your money, that you have to have a job for your money. And this is not the way that the spirit is, because when you're connecting to your own divine spirit, the universe is infinitely abundant, and things do come to you with ease and grace and flow. But you got to just tap into that inner being and do the work, because it's amazing how things can just show up. And the work that you want to do, you'll be guided. You'll literally be guided to the people, the places, and the things and the opportunities. And stop. And then the abundance comes in. But everybody also ties money to abundance, and it's not.
yes,
Abundance is all forms. Like, currently at the moment where you experience extreme cold. So it's abundantly cold.
yes. And it was
There's an
just
abundance.
snowing.
There's an abundance of air. There's an abundance of wealth. There's an abundance of money. But it won't show up for you if you don't feel worthy, if you keep on accepting these acceptable lies, that you have to work hard, that it can't be easy, because it is easy. It's so easy.
I always I always go back to like being a child and how some way somehow I knew certain things about the world, and I was like, "Oh, like it can be like this, or it can be like that." And then I remember asking adults a very pure and simple question about how the world worked in certain ways, money or whatever, and they would give me an answer and I would be like, Like, I don't like it. It doesn't resonate with me, but yes, I understand that this is what they're saying. This is how the world works. And it's like I mean, it's what we're told. They go with like the masses and everything like that. And the magic happens when you go against the grain. You know what I
It
mean?
does. When you step out of mass consciousness and connect to your own consciousness and follow your own path,
Yeah,
things do become so easy. I mean, yes, you do go through a little bit of hardship, but I do feel that these hardships that come to our door are to show us to go beyond, to go inside and go beyond.
very much so. And it's really
And it's
interesting how, I was talking to you earlier how I had an experience with two individuals that reminded me of, relationship dynamics between me and someone else from my past. And that was another, you know, that person, it was another instance of what I was saying earlier of like, this is how they are. And we're going to enable them. And we're going to just like, this is just how they are. And poo poo on you for speaking up and being assertive and, all this stuff. And then like, you're just like, oh, okay. I accept that this is what we're doing with this person for this person. And they're just going to be that way, and I am going to take a step back and not speak up anymore because my words aren't important. And and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a lie I tell myself because my words are important. And like, look
they
at,
are important.
you know um
And it's up to the other person if they are willing to receive the information that you're willing to offer, and if they are willing to do the work. Because at the end of the day, we are not responsible for other people. We're not responsible for their actions. We're not responsible for their thoughts. We're not responsible for them at all. The only people we are responsible for is ourselves.
yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've been brought up to feel that's another lie. We have to be responsible for everybody else. If the world is suffering, then we have to suffer. If and also like there's so much jealousy out for people who are successful and stuff like that. That's also another lie, another acceptable lie that we have been told. Because everybody can have success. Everybody can, but you see, my success and my idea of a perfect life might not be yours,
Mhm.
but it doesn't mean
Mhm.
there's no right or wrong. It's just people have different paths, and it all depends on where you are and how you get there.
Exactly. I don't know what's going on with me right now. There's all of this like energy movement, and I feel like I'm in a like channeling where I'm like woo woo woo. So
Oh
I'm
no, I'm
I'm loving what
definitely.
you're saying, and I'm like, please continue, Charlie. Like I don't want to say anything right now, but I'm also in that channel zone. But it's very interesting. Like I just want to listen to you.
Because I mean, let's face it, I'm awesome. I'm joking.
Fantastic.
I'm worthy.
No, I like how you're talking about lots of different stuff and how you brought up your worth, where I'm like pinned down on like it was in the relationships for me. And like how, like you said, like I conformed, I dimmed my own self, like my own light. I was like, let's turn that light down. Let's just exist.
You
And let's
know,
just accept what we're being told and not make waves
questioning.
or step or like, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to make waves. And so,
Oh, just rock the boat,
right?
rock the boat, baby, rock the boat. I know. Now I love rocking the boat, but I rock my own boat because I don't worry about anybody else anymore. And I don't, it's like something like relationships. Currently, at the moment, I'm not in a relationship. I have my pets and I have my kids, And then obviously there's my clients and stuff like that. And every relationship does teach you stuff. But currently, I'm not in an intimate relationship because that's where you learn the most, is when you are in these power dynamics of a very intimate relationship. And from my past and from all the drama that I've had being in relationships, I'm much more comfortable being on my own. And that's another thing. That's another lie that we tell ourselves, is that you have to be in a relationship. You have to accept the relationship. And, there's that happy families, and a lot of women and a lot of men as well are stuck in these relationships that are literally diminishing them and draining them, because out of the societal norm to be accepted and to have this perfect family. But sometimes having a broken home might be the best thing for you, because even now I still have a great relationship with my kid's dad. We get on better now than we did when we were in the relationship. And for me, that's better for the family dynamic and for my kids than being in a home where the mom and the dad don't really get on, and there's a lot of anger and a lot of tension. So there's no right or wrong when it comes to these things. It's just
Mhm.
what's right and wrong that you start feeling in yourself. And you're not going to get past these things until you go within. I told you I'm going to say this on every single episode.
No, it's absolutely true because I've witnessed that, and I've witnessed um people and their dynamics. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, they would be better off, and the children would be better off, like, with them separated, divorced, what have you. And, what if people decided, we aren't going to get a divorce, we're married, we have children, but yeah, we'll live separately and our kids will do our thing, but we'll, like, that could even be a possibility, and what works best. Like, we have to stop listening to what society and what other people deem is appropriate or best for us, when, like you said, the separation, or doing things differently, going against the grain, is the best thing.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's like people can have opinions, but they don't know what you're going through. They don't know what's in your heart. They don't know your spirit or your soul. And let's face it, a lot of people don't even know what their spirit or their soul is, or what they really want for themselves. And unfortunately, this is when they start going through the dark nights of the soul, and they start questioning things. And then it's the tears and the drama and the depression. And the easiest way out is within. And I'm not saying it's an easy way out, because you do have to take a hard look at yourself and you have to question yourself. And a lot of people don't want to do that. So they're much more comfortable with the comfortable lies that they tell themselves.
Indeed. Yeah. But again, where is that getting you? Where is that getting everyone involved? Yeah.
This is a great topic, because I mean there's a lot of people that aren't ready for this conversation, but hopefully they will find this video when they are ready, and start questioning, start asking themselves questions. What are the lies that they're telling themselves? What are they accepting that really is, not resonating with their soul, not resonating with them, and they're just doing it to make everybody else happy? Because let's face it, that's another acceptable lie. We have to do everything for everybody else and put ourselves last. Whereas in reality, you have to put yourself first. It's not selfish. It's really not selfish. And in the new energetics, and this is what I teach. You have to let your energy serve you, and it's only for you. It's not for anybody else. Because by you allowing your energy in and allowing it to serve you and to help you with you, then you naturally shine bright. Your clients come to you, but you have to do it for you. You can't have an agenda behind it. Oh, I want to do this because I need to be better so I can have a partner, or I can get back together with this person, or I can have this job. No, it's for you, because once you start allowing your energy to serve you and you start getting in touch with your being and your soul, your whole life changes, and what you thought you wanted is completely opposite to what.
Exactly. Exactly. I was just saying that to someone today. Like, we might have an idea, or like we might say aloud, oh, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. But we don't even know. And the experiences that I've had,
We do
especially
know, don't
during
say that.
what?
We do know. You know I hate that. We know.
I
Our soul knows, but our human side doesn't know yet.
When I say we don't know or I don't know, it just means that the answer has not come.
Yeah,
I'm
so it's
very
better to
much
say.
used to saying we're look, and do you see that we're so used to saying certain things because that's what society says, and then we all yeah, we all say the same thing. um where was I going with this? Now you were like, don't say that, and now I forgot what I was saying.
Because it wasn't
Charlie.
important. Because you said I don't know, so it's gone because you don't know it. So just breathe in. What
Yeah,
is what is it that I know that is alive in me right now that needs to come out?
I like that. Yeah. Right? And that's really good. That's really good to offer people to, tap in and say to themselves and meditate on and even journal on and such, all of that good stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the answer might not be alive in you right here in this very second, but this is when you've got to get out of your way, you've got to get out of your head, and you've got to start getting into the allowing your consciousness to come through, your beingness to come through, and get out of your own way. Because it's the mind, it's the human that kind of fucks things up.
Yeah. Yeah. About that. Very much so. Like how do I'm trying to let the words come.
Feel into it.
Yeah, we have an idea of how the world or how our world should go or be for us or whatnot. And again, there's a sense of creating our reality with what we have inside of us. And when we stop listening to other people and, really believing in change and shifts and our own worth and whatnot, and we, like you said, get out of our own way, anything is possible.
Oh yeah.
I've even had some beautiful occurrences happen the last few days, and these are things that, I can sit there and be like,
And you were stressing about them. How
"Mhm."
long were you stressing about? And then it just all happened it was glorious.
I was like, that's it. Like, beautiful things can occur in my life, and I told myself and did the work of like, no, 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 you are going to be open to the glorious masterpieces that your energy is, and will then, like, what the world has to offer you, because inner world, outer world. And such amazing things were happening, and really, really, really profound connections with certain individuals, and very unexpected, and things just kind of have fallen into place and in certain ways, and it's been a gift. And it's like, I think you said this last podcast, or the yeah, you were like, thank yourself for doing the work and doing these things, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, You did this, you little badass. You pushed through the bullshit and you did the work. And all those times where we're like, nothing can change, this won't work out, this won't happen. Yes, stop limiting yourself. Stop
Yeah,
limiting yourself. That's another lie.
that is another lie, that you have to be limited because we are limitless. And then also this week, I had somebody, one of my friends, come and pop over for coffee, and he said, "Oh, you really need to get a job." And I don't even argue with these people anymore. I just go, "Yeah, I have a job. I have a job." "No, but you need to work for a company." I said, "I have my own company."
Yeah, it's very interesting when I have
People,
conversations with certain people and I'm like, okay. But in my head, I'm like, that's not my energetics. Like, that's not who I am. That's not, and I've come so far to know and accept and look like things are
I mean,
align and shift.
like if I had to go back into the corporate world, I wouldn't be able to go for a walk with my dog whenever I wanted out in nature. And for me, that's freedom. Like I can wake up at 10 because I'm up late. I can wake up at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning without stress, without bother. Um, I can take my dog for a walk. I can potter around the house. I can do what I want. I connect with amazing people all over the world. And money just shows up when I need it. Oh, and the cat's joined.
Right. I, um, I had to go get, some things yesterday at a store and I was like, there's something I need to be aware of. I'm like, I don't know what it is. And then all of a sudden my gaze just shot down and there was money on the ground. And I like pick it up and I'm looking around and I'm like, is this anyone's? And it's like, I just I like, no, it's yours. It's here. And it's very interesting because I am kind of I'm told to like look at this life as like a syndication or a simulation or whatever, and it's like it's very interesting how things just pop up like on the ground, like crystals, geodes. I've had geodes just like I've been in the same spot one day, and then a couple of hours later when I'm the only one that has access to this area, all of a sudden a geode pops up. Like like magic happens, like
You
people.
like this is it. It's like your energy starts serving you.
Yes.
And it brings you the things that you desire and that you need. And this is the master's way. A master doesn't stress. Oh, that's another big lie, bills. A master doesn't lie, doesn't stress about bills or because they are so like in tune with who they are. They've reached their realization. They embodied here, like, and they know that whatever they need comes to them at the right time.
Yeah, I've started to get in that place. I used to be, and again, it was what I was around, what I ingested, what I soaked in when I was a little wee Ashley, like, very lack mindset, lack way of being, lack beliefs, and thinking I can only reach a certain point. And again, when I was a little kid and younger, I just remember thinking of something or whatever, and then like there it would show up in my life and I'm like, oh, okay. And I know you don't really care much for the word manifesting. I'm letting that ebb out because it truly is. It just like it just happens. It just
Yeah,
comes.
it's actualization. Manifestation, I feel, is very old energy because we are now in a new energy dynamic um, in the world. And it's like, manifesting is about sitting there repeating mantras. I am abundant. I am this. I am that. No, we don't manifest. We actualize. When you start working with me, we throw manifestation out the window and we start actualizing. And you know this. You know this from what you're experiencing, and because it's the new energy. When you start letting your energy serve you and you start using it just for you.
It's literally, it's like, it's such a game changer. I just call it magic. Like, magic happens when you
It does.
let your energy serve you. And you even said that to me earlier today. You reminded me of that. You're like, let your energy serve you. Like, push the
Energy
bullshit
in,
out.
expand out.
Yep. And yeah, it was helpful. And, I ended up going to see a client. Actually, it's a lovely woman that I know, and I've worked with her and her family for years. And unfortunately, her mother has had dementia and she's been in a nursing home. And, I was, you know, dealing with stuff this morning, and I'm like, I want to be in a good place. Like, and I enjoy being around them and all of that. And like, it was a game changer after you were like, don't forget, expand, let your energy serve you. And it was, as soon as I walked in, I was just like, oh my gosh, I am here. This is going to be magical. It's going to be a wonderful experience. And, and I feel like another thing that we tell ourselves is that, like, it's some people might be like, what are you talking about, Ashley? But like, losing someone or something, or having to go through loss or what have you, death, whatever type of loss it is, like, you might people are like, no, 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 this is, death, so that's a no, no, we don't want to deal with that. And it's like, it's
It's
such a
just
beautiful
beautiful. Very.
experience.
And this is it, because we came here for this physical experience to be embodied on this planet, but our souls are eternal. And it's just the humanist that sees death as separation, but it's really not, because everybody who's crossed over, like, I mean, I've lost my dad, my brother, they're still with me.
Very much so. And it's really interesting and really cool because I went to the nursing home, maybe a few months ago, and connecting with the soul and spirit of this woman. And she told me what she would like create for her family to know that she's still around them. And they were in a certain area the last couple of weeks, and they kept witnessing what she said. And like, she hasn't even, you
Crossed over
know,
you.
crossed over or anything. And
Yes.
it's really beautiful. See, like, yeah, people, why do we limit ourselves? Like, the possibilities are endless, the experiences, the joy, the opportunities are endless. Yeah, we get in such that limited mindset, or
Yeah.
back to what I had said in the beginning, like, we start to just believe, no, this is the way things are. And we just tell ourselves, this is the way things are. This is the way things are.
Yeah.
And no,
It's
like,
also it's also the way that we've been brought up, and the constructs and stuff from society and religion. But we're not going to get into religion. That is a topic that is taboo in my realm and reality, because it's the first form of mind control as far as I'm concerned. We're going to lose subscribers because of that, but I don't care. Um, but no, the being is limitless. We are infinite. We are powerful and potent creators, and you got to let your energy serve you and come from consciousness rather than the mind.
yes. Yeah, the mind is so limited. Oh my gosh. And
It
as you
is.
say, when we drop down to our heart and we just are, we just be, just go with that gorgeous flow. And like you say, let our energy serve us however which way. Oh, oh.
No,
Ah,
it's juicy, isn't it?
Oh my God, it's spectacular. It's beautiful. It's glorious. Like,
And
yeah.
then also when you start getting out of the mind and you stop with and you just breathe and you allow and don't get and you like I say, you stand behind the short wall, you put yourself in the observer position, you just let your thoughts float and don't get attached to them because once you start getting caught up into that monkey mind, then you bring yourself back into duality, you bring yourself back into separation, and then you literally disconnect from your consciousness. And that's another fallacy as well is your thoughts create your reality. It's your consciousness that creates your reality in the new energy paradigm. Well, it
Mm,
is always been that way, but and that's another thing. There's so many falsities and so many different schools out there that are really just teaching outdated stuff. There's also a lot of spiritual coaches and gurus, and you don't need to chant, you don't need to wear all white, you don't need to stop drinking. You are here for the human experience, so experience it in all of its freaking glory, but do so connected to your consciousness, your soul, and with your energy serving you.
yes, I like that very much. Yeah. Um, I think that the biggest thing with breaking away from, I'm going to say, the bandwidth of these lies that we tell ourselves is that I already lost track because I'm like in this woo woo. Let me see. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is like when you step out of the way and just
Sorry, Coco was chasing the
it's
cat
okay.
and she like, jumped on me.
We needed that. We needed that little like Coco spunk. Yeah.
Yeah, when you get out the way.
When you get out of the way and you just let let your, I guess, heart, your, I don't know why I want to point to my stomach. Some people like go with their gut or go with their heart. Like just let yourself be your own guide. Like let your energy, that divinity, that consciousness, let that be your guide. Sometimes our
Do you
emotions, and I said this in the last podcast, like sometimes like the emotions and the mental, like they get really intense, and sometimes it's, you know, it's too much, and we have to get those out of the way, get out of our own way, and then just be. And the
yeah,
possibilities are endless. I feel like I keep wanting to say the same thing, and sometimes that happens when I channel. And some
because there's a message in there. The possibilities are endless. Miracles do happen in a blink of an eye. And you just got to allow it. And our emotions are a beautiful thing, but we want to be in that constant state of joy and of bliss rather than despair and lack and anger. But anger is also a beautiful emotion because it shows us where we're going against who we are. Um, so I love this, and what's coming through to me now is feel your way.
I like that. I like that. And you know, I've said to myself, like, I don't want to feel anger. I don't want to feel this or that. And it's a guide. It's, you know, it's there for a reason. And years ago, someone had said to me, like, I don't want to feel anger anymore. I don't want to be angry. And it's like,
So don't put yourself in situations that make you angry. Simple. It's like I've lost my shit. Last year, I lost my shit 3 times to a point where I literally exploded because I had people in my environment that weren't respecting my boundaries. One person stole from me, another person just came to stay with me without any money and just was like so disrespectful and didn't respect my boundaries. And then I had the next door neighbor as well coming and leeching off me every day, not respecting my space and my sanctity and just not listening to me. And I lost my shit 3 times, but those people are no longer in my reality and in my environment because I needed to get to that point because, like you say, always putting other people first to get to that anger point, to get to that explosion, to
Mhm.
be able to release them. Because anger is a beautiful thing. And it really does show where you're going against what's in your heart.
Yes.
And I mean, sometimes you do have a lot of anger, especially if you've been gone through a lot of trauma and stuff like that. But you've got to work through it. And then also sometimes, you're picking up mass like sensitive beings that are on the planet, empaths and stuff like that can pick up the anger from other people as well. And another thing you have to do is what I've always done is this mine? And half the time it isn't even mine. Right now I'm getting angry because I smell marijuana coming in and I'm tired of it. Because my next door neighbor is constantly smoking marijuana outside.
I see.
And I like to have my door open, and so this is another reason why I'm moving because I don't need to put up with this.
Yeah, and it's not like you like have at it, whomever, but like you want the mutual respect and it's not there. And that's
Oh,
what, yeah.
absolutely. And I mean, I don't mind. Like I used to smoke a lot, but currently over the last couple of months, I realized I was escaping. It was keeping me more from my soul and more from my creativity. And um, so I don't smoke anymore. I don't need it. I'm not anxious. I'm not angry. It served a point when I was going through my PTSD and when I was and it helped me with my trauma and my anxiety, but I don't have that anymore because I'm really connected with my inner beingness. And now I allow my emotions to guide me, so I don't need these cruxes to help me through. And I mean, I do agree that it's much better than taking antidepressants. Like plant medicine does have its purpose and its place. It's way better than taking medication. But then, there's some people that are just using it constantly every day. And they're just, escaping. And I just don't want to be around people like that anymore.
Yeah, I very much understand that. Um I personally so invested in myself that I want to be around other people that are invested in themselves and taking care of themselves and taking responsibility, looking in, doing the work, all of that good stuff. Um, yeah. And a lot of the things that we tell ourselves about ourselves or other people or what have you that we're lying about, uncovering those truths can be very difficult and scary, but they,
Breaking through the barriers.
yeah, like how freaking glorious is it to like be on the other side? And like, that's what, in my past, I would, I don't know, listen to podcasts or to have a chat with someone, and um there was always a thing of like, yeah, but how these things might be scary, but how amazing to be on the other side and to have gone through that breakthrough and to be more present with yourself and just in you and being you and not like reaching out, escaping, doing all of that stuff.
Codependent, needy, like
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't need anybody to come and save me. I save myself. I don't need to move anybody in to come help me pay rent, you know?
Exactly. And the biggest breakthroughs I've ever had is when I either decided to let go of certain situations, people, places, or they just decided to do that with me. And there might have been some hurt, some anger, whatever, but it's like, oh, yes. And that was something, there was a lie like brought up in my family years ago of letting someone take care of you in a certain way or help you in a certain way. And it's like, it's not empowering. It's not suitable to me and my needs and who I am. And, you start to believe that. And then you believe that you can't do for yourself or be there for yourself. And like I said, the best action has been when I have had to just do and be for myself, and it's been miraculous. And again, like some of this isn't easy, but like it's it's so juicy and I'm like, "Yes, I did it." Like look at how far you've come, Ash. Like, yeah, right?
Give myself a pat on the back. It's amazing. And it is because also another lie is that you need a man in your life.
Mhm.
Like, I was always brought up, no, no, don't worry, you don't need an education because you'll get married and you got to marry rich and stuff like that. I was like, fuck that, getting married.
Yeah, see, and
I
that's
will
where I
do
was
it on
going, like,
my own.
yeah, it's very interesting because I remember sitting around the table with females in my family, and like there were times when they were like, just marry someone rich. And I'm like, huh? And then there were other times where it was like the exact opposite of where it was like, do everything on your own. You don't need anyone, blah, 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 blah. So again, when there are these parallels are coming into your life as a child and you're trying to figure life out and you're like, but I don't understand the world completely. And like, what is this? What am I being told? And then, yeah, it's been a mess in my own mind for some years, but I finally gotten through and figured it out. And that's like I've learned a really awesome balance. And it's been really spectacular. It's been a spectacular
Um,
journey.
Oh, no, it is a fantastic journey. Now, I'm just only interested in joy and bliss and happiness and what makes my heart sing. And that involves traveling the world and being outrageous and what other people say. I need to start doing more videos for my business and stuff. But that was another lie that I was telling myself that I couldn't put myself out there because of what other people would think. But that was also tied towards my worth
Yes.
and also what I do put a lot of schools like different, I'm here to shift from the old paradigm into the new paradigm. So yes, I am going to upset people, but that's okay. It's got nothing to do with me. It's all them. They've got to figure it out themselves, and I've still got to wake up every day. And I currently at the moment I do have a block with going live. But I need to move beyond that, and I will move beyond that. This is why we're doing this podcast.
Yes. And I really like how even like last week we talked about some things and it helped me get deeper.
Yeah. Because people like to stay in the shallow waters. They don't like to go in and do the deep work, do the inner work, and see what the real root cause of the problem is. And
Right?
because it is all within you, everything that's, you know, actualizing in your outer environment, whether it be chaos, drama, whatever it is, people falling away, it's because there's something in you. I mean, and once you start getting into the allowing and to the receiving, what's not meant for you will naturally fall away. And you
Oh my
don't need to
gosh.
manipulate, you don't need to control, because, like I saw, like, especially with this flat, I was holding onto it so tightly because I thought I had nowhere else to go. But then the minute I released it and I said, fuck it, universe, let's just go with the flow and see what's going to happen. And still, I don't know where I'm going to be living at the end of the month, but I've got like 7 or 8 days until then. And I'm sure I'll find the most beautiful, amazing flat for me will just
Pop
miraculously
up.
appear. It
Yeah.
will. I
Oh
don't
my
doubt
God.
that for a second. Don't doubt that for a second. Because then that would be doubting myself and my creator ability. And then that's a bigger lie.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I've just got chills.
I'm
It's like,
like,
no,
oh
I'm
my
not
gosh, that
going to
was
do
such a
that.
good point. Yes, Charlie.
Because we are all creators and we can create magic in so many different shapes or forms. And it might take a little bit of time, but the more deeper you go, the more you release and the more you step out of your way and just allow and receive. Allow and receive.
I love that. And I love your like mild dance jazz, like little pop,
I know I'm wearing my
little jazzy pop.
we're getting more comfortable in front of the camera, and this is good because, like Saint Germain says, we got to be theatrical, and we have to share our stories, and we both have these uncomfortable stories which people might not want to hear, but the more we do this, the more comfortable we get, the better it's going to be. And
Right?
it's great because we're also working through the stuff at the same time. People don't realize like how often we talk to each other on a daily basis.
Right?
And
And
then
even like just little, tiny things about what we're thinking or feeling. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, there's something here.
yeah,
This little thing, there's something here. There's more to the story or more pieces to the puzzle, And it's yeah, it's really amazing.
it's beautiful. It's magic when two sovereign beings come together and co-create.
Right? Oh my gosh. Um Yeah, and back to what you were saying, like when I have clients or I'm just talking with new people or friends, I share the depths of my despair. I share my stories. And, I was younger and just having this knowing of like, I'm going through things and connected to certain people and these behaviors and these dynamics, and it's not okay. And I know I'm supposed to share my story, but like you said, there's that fear of like me personally, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I don't want none of these people that I talk about vaguely or legit say like this was this person in relation to me. Like these are just what we went through and how, and had I not done the work, God knows what kind of place I would be in or what type of person I would be and what my behaviors would be. But like, and I would want the understanding, I would want the sympathy or empathy, and I would also want people to let me go if I wasn't suited for them in a certain, in friendship, as a client, whatever, wherever my life may have taken off and in another timeline, like, but in the here and the now, I've done the work. I have to share my story. I can't tell you how many clients have been like, oh my gosh, thank you. Um, and even some people have been like, that was really brave to like share that, like, wow, because a lot of people just hold a lot in, and I've had clients being like, can I tell you this, should I tell you this? And I'm like, I'm not judging you, just say, because it's helpful, we need to talk about it, we need to get it out.
Like
And
how
even
can we get? to the root if you're not willing to share. Because let's face it,
Exactly.
when people if people want to work with us, we create phenomenal freaking shifts, but we need to get to the root cause. And we've gone through everything that we've been through so we can be here non-judgmental, with empathy, with compassion, and with understanding to create a sacred space for vulnerability.
I can't just be with like on the surface people. Like if you're going to be in whatever type of relationship with me, like I want to talk about things. I want to uncover some hard truths, you know? Um have
I
you
call them
been
uncomfortable truths
yeah.
because it is uncomfortable. People don't want to expose themselves. But the thing is, there's no right or wrong. You've
Yeah.
experienced life in all its beautiful glory, in its messiness, in its stickiness, in its uncomfortableness. And, we've all had traumatic experiences, some people more than others, but that's okay. I mean, it wasn't okay. And I know what it's like to go through trauma and be in those uncomfortable things, but it's not your fault. It's on the other person. So that we'll have to do another episode on.
Yeah, cuz I feel like there's a lot of I don't know why I call some people baby angels. I'm like there's a lot of baby angels out there that need to
There
know
are
that
baby angels out there. We are all earth angels. We are all embodied beings. We are all spirits, souls, stardust, cosmos,
mm, you're speaking
and
poetry.
freaking neat vessels walking around, flailing all over the
I
place.
was gonna
Oh,
say
silly
we're like
human.
that.
Because that's what it feels like. You're like a fish out of water going, oh,
Right? I mean, this human experience can be messy, it can be mucky, it can be scary, unruly even, but it's, I really love that we do this work. And I have a friend of mine that's like, the craziest situations or occurrences can happen, Ashley, and you're trying to look at whether like what your energy is, what the lessons are, what you need to learn from the situation. They were like, you're always just going within. And I'm like, I can't do it any other way. Like,
I know. I can't either. It's like I always look at what the energy dynamic is.
yes. Yes. And I
Because
appreciate when people call me out on my own bullshit or if I'm enabling or even being too hard on myself because of a certain belief that I have. Like with the anger, I'm allowed to feel angry because it's showing me, like you said, what's
mm,
not aligned with me.
but be careful when people call you out on your own bullshit because it might not be bullshit. It's just that they might find it uncomfortable to bear.
I like that you said that. Yes. I meant helpful, loving, amazing people that will be
Constructive
like, hey,
criticism.
Ash. Yeah, they'll be like, hey, Ash, like you, and some people might get triggered, but it's like, you're better than that. Like, please don't allow that. They empower me, they help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different, like you said, when people are uncomfortable with what you're saying and want to put you down for
It's like a lot of people
yeah.
say that I'm intimidating. And I was like, no, you just intimidated.
Yes.
Do not put the way that you feel or perceive me on me because it's not about me, it's about you. If you find my openness, my strength, and my honesty intimidating, you are intimidated. I'm not intimidating.
Mhm.
Hey, Coco.
Mhm. Look her little body, I can't handle it. And her little eye, she's like, beep. Beep.
I think that.
She makes me laugh so much.
Stop.
Oh my God. If she was my baby, I would just look at her and just like laugh all the time. I'd just be like, oh my God, look at you. Like you are in existence. This is fantastic. She's saying, rub my tummy. Yes.
And when I stop rubbing, well, I think this is where we should leave the episode for the evening because I need to pee and it's been an hour.
Yeah, I need to have some dinner. It's about that time. Yeah. So yeah, this was yeah.
This was enlightening and frightening all at the same time.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, you know what to do, people. You can get in touch with us. Links are all below. Have a wonderful evening. Oh, tomorrow we're going to have another episode. We are going to have the beautiful Jamie Joy Crystal from Heart Body Healing. So it's going to be 3 wonderful sovereign beings getting together for some raucous laughs. It's going to
Oh,
be fun. It's going to
oh,
be so fun.
oh my God, I can't wait. I can only imagine at this point. And that's the thing, that's the blessing. I'm just gonna let it flow and let it happen. See
Yeah,
where it takes
yeah,
us. Yeah. It's exciting.
exactly. Like, I create. Now let's see what I'm creating.
Right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, my friend and Coco.